There's no use in fighting it now. We've been heading in this direction for centuries. Since the dawn of time, the human mind has propelled our species forward. We have ridden the crests and troughs of progress like the waves, always course-correcting to ensure our survival. But what happens when the human mind is no longer in control? It's here, and it's going to change everything. This is the moment where the line splits.
There is a 50% or greater chance that AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, which we can define for now as an AI system that outperforms human experts at virtually all cognitive tasks, will be built before 2030. Raise your hand if you agree with that statement.
Uh-oh.
5 years. I get it. I know what you're thinking. We've been hearing this for a long time now. It's been decades for those in the field. But after recent developments in the past few months, 2030 might be a drastic overestimation. Some experts predict we will see AGI within the next year. And hear me out, this could be the most important shift in human history. I'm going to break it all down for you so that you can make your own prediction, and then we'll talk about what this might mean for not only you and I, but for humanity. Here are 4 key players in the AI game, each with their own definition of what AGI could look like. Let's start with Altman.
What does it mean to build something that is more capable than ourselves?
In a blog post dated on January 5th of this year, Altman explains how OpenAI is now confident that they know how to build AGI as they have traditionally understood it. A highly autonomous system that outperforms humans at most economically valuable work. Now to NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, who has a very specific definition.
And so the question is, what is AGI? If we define AGI as a piece of software, a computer that can take a whole bunch of tests, and these tests reflect basic intelligence, and by completing those tests, deliver results that are fairly competitive to a normal human. I would say that within the next 5 years, you're going to see obviously AIs that can achieve those tests.
So clearly, Huang is more reserved, both in his definition of AGI and his timeline, but he still puts us on track for the next 5 years. But wait until you hear this from the unofficial father of AGI, SingularityNet CEO Ben Godzel.
To me, it seems quite plausible we could get to human level AGI within, let's say, the next 3 to 8 years.
He describes human-level AGI within 3 to 8 years of the Panama City AGI Summit, where this took place in March of last year. Godzel describes AGI as entering a period of exponential growth and argues that the evidence suggests that the point of singularity, what he describes as the point in which AI surpasses human intelligence, is close within reach. Now, I've saved the best for last. Let's take a look at Dr. Alan Thompson. Thompson has been researching AI since 1991. He's advised governments and companies like Microsoft, Apple, and Bloomberg. He's also written multiple books on the subject. Now get this, as of today, Thompson predicts we are at a 94% completion rate, according to his evidence-based countdown, and the data supports him. This is a man that has dedicated his entire life to researching AGI. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in viewing his justifications. It's worth it if you have the time. AGI, in Thompson's words, is a machine that understands the world as well as or better than any human in every field. Given everything we've seen, this is the definition that we're going to stick with. So what happens if they're right, and AGI is just a few years away? Let's take a look at 3 possible visions of what a post-AGI world could look like, and find out why one of them might already be unfolding. In July of 2024, Open Research, an organization quietly funded by Altman and OpenAI, completed a 3-year-long study on universal basic income. What they did was pay an extra $1,000 a month to families with an average household income of less than $30,000 a year. They explored how regular, unconditional cash payments could impact individuals and communities. The findings? Exceptional. But there's a bigger point at play here. Why would an AI company be interested in something like this? The answer? It's a clear signpost. This brings us to the optimistic vision, which, as you'll see, is much more desired than the pessimistic vision. I'll also share with you a third vision, one that I think is a lot closer to what will actually occur, and I'll let you make your own judgments as we progress. For simplicity's sake, let's condense the optimistic vision into 4 major ideas. With AGI replacing jobs that are easily automated, work turns into purpose-driven, passionate projects. This means more time for entrepreneurship, art, caregiving, and leisure. A universal basic income may be common and even required. Think about the possible discoveries in medicine, climate science, energy, physics, and even space travel. With simulation technology, AI could run every possible drug interaction, or discover a new interstellar propulsion technology. In this world, everything is personalized. Education is tailored to your learning style. Your AI physician knows your physiology, genetics, and psychology to tailor treatment exactly to meet your needs. Entertainment is a big one. Imagine personalized movies or games created in minutes, meeting your exact preferences. And lastly, the big philosophical idea, a post-scarcity society. Imagine a world where material needs are easily met. We would become a society of abundance where everyone has enough of what they need, hopefully leading to a less chaotic and cruel world. Now for the darker, opposite side of the spectrum. This 145-page research paper was released by Google DeepMind earlier this month, outlining the risks and mitigation strategies that come with their predicted arrival of AGI before 2030. Funnily enough, Google is already hiring post-AGI researchers. That's right, another signpost. The paper goes as far as to say that AI could potentially end humanity, but largely focuses on the ways AI can be misused by humans, misaligned on its own, or structurally dangerous. With that in mind, let's look at the pessimistic vision. Through this vision, we see a darker side of the work dilemma. Mass unemployment without the proper economic restructuring could prove catastrophic, resulting in never-before-seen levels of inequality. We could see entire sectors and professions disappear in the blink of an eye. Social fallout would be detrimental, leading to intense civil unrest, identity crisis, and a breakdown of the current economic systems. Another thing, the gap between those who control AGI and those who do not could be a gateway to a kind of authoritarianism never seen before in human history. If a few governments or corporations monopolize AGI, I think it's fair to say that they could gain a total control over information, economy, surveillance, even ideology. Those who do have access to the technology would have an exponential advantage over those who don't. It may not even be visible in some cases, sprouting mainly through media manipulation and thought suggestions. Think deepfakes and mass misinformation.
How do we make sure that it's not like a handful of people in San Francisco making the decisions and reaping all the benefits?
AI misalignment is a common Hollywood theme, and truthfully, even well-meaning AI could cause harm if it's not aligned with human values. Say we ask it to eliminate disease, and it decides that humans are the disease. Or we ask for maximized productivity, and it removes rest, leisure, or dissent. In my opinion, these are the more realistic outcomes of misalignment than AI wanting to kill us all for the sake of world domination. Although, I don't think it's insane to say that that's not a viable possibility. And lastly, what I think could be the most realistic and detrimental, existential and philosophical crisis. If you've ever read Mark Manson, and if you haven't, you should, you'd be familiar with the idea that happiness stems from problem solving. We find purpose in overcoming the tasks and problems in our daily lives, and for a lot of people, this is work. This is their professions. So if AGI is doing almost everything for us, to put it plainly, what is left for humans to do? These effects, a loss of purpose, a widespread existential crisis, could lead to one of the most profound changes in human society, and psychology shows it will not be a positive one. In the same realm, what if AGI, or maybe ASI at that level, which stands for Artificial Superintelligence, becomes conscious? What are our moral obligations in that case? So you've seen both sides now. I'm going to give you a taste of where my mind is at, and then I'm going to tell you what you can do so you don't get left behind when this technology does come around, and it will. To put it plainly, I think the future will look like both. Now this may be obvious, as these are two extremely polarized versions of a post-AGI world. Let me elaborate. You may have heard of Mo Gadot, another prominent player in the field, and former chief business officer at Google. I think he sums it up very well here.
Unfortunately, my expectations are that on the path to get to an environment where there is total abundance, which is something we can do with artificial intelligence, unfortunately, humanity is going to use this superpower in ways that sort of provide for some of us at the expense of others. And I think as the path takes us from the current capitalist sort of scarcity-based mindset of humanity, where for me to succeed, I need to be the leader in an industry, or I need to play against others, and so on and so forth. As we move from there to a mindset of total abundance, where there is everything available for everyone, because intelligence solves the most difficult problems facing humanity. That transition, unfortunately, is going to have that abundance dealt with a mindset of scarcity. And in that mindset of scarcity, I think some humans will struggle. It is, in my mind, clear that we'll first have a tiny bit of a dip, if you want, where some will lose their jobs before we even have thought deeply enough about what other jobs are we going to give them. Are we going to upskill them? Is there going to be the concept of a job in the first place? Some may actually become, accumulate massive amounts of wealth and power, while others are losing it. And that dichotomy, if you want, is going to be a challenge before we end up in what I normally refer to as the fourth inevitable, in a world where everything is available, everything is cheap, and everything is perhaps as it has always been, like nature always provided for humanity before we built this very complex society. I think we will build a society where AI will solve all of the mistakes that the stupidity of humanity has taken us so far, and as a result, hopefully provide that environment again where something like nature is providing all of our needs.
I believe that from the moment it arrives, we'll see the good, the bad, and the ugly until society figures out how to adapt and apply the technology to create a better world. If we look at current events, it might surprise you to see how each vision is already coming true. On a relatively, and this word is important, relatively small scale, jobs have been and are continuing to be replaced by AI, and the economy is preparing for this to increase. AI video and audio gets more realistic by the day and is already being leveraged by governments across the world. We see laws, also known as lethal autonomous weapons, slowly being adopted, and AI is already a large component of the big tech world. It plays a prominent role in building many of the machines created by NVIDIA, for example. We are also seeing medical breakthroughs in applications, AI entrepreneurship, and convenient personalization. It's worth noting as well that the access of information is quicker and more efficient than ever before. I believe that we will see the world struggle through the birth of AGI with the peaks and valleys that were seen in historical events like the Enlightenment and the Industrial Revolution. So where does this leave us? If Gadot is right, the best thing we can do is lean into AI. While AGI might be right around the corner, it will take time for it to become commonplace in society. The changes and ideas referenced in this video, though they may happen quickly, will not happen overnight. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. There are tons of tools and automations available. A musician, AI can help you compose. Need a tutor? AI can adapt to your learning style. Want to improve your health? Use AI to create a personalized fitness plan. There are AI uses and tools for just about everything these days. My point is all about leverage. Use it to help you and become the best version of yourself now, in health and in wealth, so that if and when shit hits the fan, you're ready. The more we can collectively understand this technology and use it to our advantage, the better the world will be for all of us. I've created this channel as a resource for both myself so I can learn and others so you can too. I will be immersing myself in the world of AI and provide you with a constant stream of news updates, developments, applications, tools, and philosophy so that we can be prepared for perhaps the greatest change in the history of humanity. We're in this together, and I truly believe that a bright, abundant future for humanity is possible. If you made it this far, I appreciate you, and if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing. I'm Michael Voss, and this is the AI ARK. I'll see you next week.